Avoiding confrontation to keep yourself safe. Hey, it's Heather Chauvin, wife, mother of 3 boys, former social worker, breadwinner, recovering hustler, and stage 4 cancer survivor. I'm not a fan of that term, by the way. Beyond all of these titles and labels, I'm a human being, just like you, attempting to navigate it all while feeling good. My goal on this podcast is to show you that you can live an energized, sustainable life both at home and in your work. It doesn't matter if you stay at home full-time, if you work from home, you're a CEO, a successful business owner, or trying to find some inspiration. On this show, I attempt to keep it real with stories, interviews, and random thoughts. This is not a business or career podcast, and it's not a parenting podcast. It's both and so much more. You will laugh. You may even cry, and you may even get a little frustrated with the truth you've been hiding from yourself. I believe all human behavior is a language, whether it's through your child's behavior, your health, or a relationship. And when we learn to listen instead of react, we begin to understand what it truly means to feel alive and in control. It's time to put your big girl pants on and find your brave. Let's go. All right, guys, so listen up. We're going to be talking about confrontation today. Yes, I know. We don't like it. We don't want to have it. But traditional confrontations ends in a fight, and it doesn't have to, right? So we avoid having uncomfortable conversations with our spouses, with our partners, our colleagues, our employees, our children's school, anyone. We avoid it at all costs, right? We want people to like us. But today I wanted to talk about how avoiding those uncomfortable conversations is actually holding you back from living your life purpose. It's easy to play small. It's so easy to be comfortable, right? If avoiding confrontation is in your comfort zone, let's turn it around and realize that you actually don't need to ever have confrontation. When you are communicating your needs in alignment with how you want to feel in your life, you begin to see that confrontation is a non-negotiable. It's not very many times in my life when I have to talk to somebody in business or my relationships or my children or my kid's school or a parent of another child that I actually have confrontation. Because you approach the situation in a way where you feel in alignment with how you want to feel. I want the other person to know that when I'm talking to them, I respect them. I see them and I honor them, and that I have compassion for the situation, and that I also honor that it's uncomfortable, right? That maybe this is an uncomfortable situation that we both don't want to be having. But how can we have it and be respectful of one another? So avoiding confrontation is like saying, I don't want to look at it. And I'm sure you've heard me say it again over and over. What you resist in your life, it will persist and it will get bigger, right? So if you resist cleaning out that closet and you keep putting things in it, eventually you're not going to be able to put anything in it, and you're going to have to start all over again, right? You're going to be like, shit, I have nowhere to put this stuff. What you resist will persist and grow bigger. If you resist that conversation that you're having with somebody, it's just going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that discomfort that you have inside of your body is just going to sit there until it manifests into something that you don't want. So think about your marriage, for example. If you are married or have ever been in a partnership with somebody, begin to realize that when you decide not to communicate your needs, your wants, your desires, and communicate with the other person, you're resisting. And when you're resisting, you're avoiding. And when you're avoiding, you're shoving down. And when you're shoving down, you're packing that shit away, right? You're like, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. But what happens is things start to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until they explode. Let's take your kids' behavior, for example. What you resist will persist and grow bigger.
What if I told you there was a no bullshit way to feel good while going after the life that you want? And I'm not talking about some templated how to live your best life. I'm talking about you knowing exactly what you want and also having the courage to go after it. In my experience working with women in the last decade and also doing the deep soul searching myself, not only have I found kind of the tools and strategies, but I had the experience to know how people are getting in their way from feeling alive. We all want freedom. It's part of the human experience to want freedom. But we get stuck in our head and ego and expectations of others and not understanding how to manage our fear and the guilt that comes up. So if you are ready to rock 2020, no more excuses. No more letting other people's expectations of you hold you back. You are ready to jump all in, blindfolded, feet first, then come to alive. And the reason why I'm letting you know this is because when you purchase your ticket before December 24th, so you literally only have a few more days to get the additional bonus, I'm gifting you a $1,500 bonus. We're going to spend 2 hours together online, so it doesn't matter where you are, this is virtual. I don't offer this to anybody outside of my coaching programs. Not only am I going to teach you my energetic time management strategy, we are going to do some hot seat coaching and get you ready for 2020. So if you're wondering, well, how do I create the space? I'm literally going to show you how. This isn't a program or conference for how to start a business. This is how to lead the life that you feel called to lead. When you say yes to that calling, that ache inside of you, that is when magical shit starts to happen. So head on over to heatherchauvin.com/alive and buy your ticket today. I look forward to hugging you in person in Detroit on February 6th. See you there.
Avoiding confrontation. Maybe you don't want to have that confrontation with your child because you always feel like you're walking on eggshells around them. So how can I communicate what's going on to my child and not be afraid of their reaction? What you resist will persist and get bigger. So oftentimes when I'm in this situation and I can feel it, now I know, okay, I'm resisting this. I need to have this conversation. It might be something little. It might be something big. But now it's always little. It's always little. Pay attention to those red flags, right? If you're like, oh, I'm going to nip that in the butt. Oh, I'm going to call the school out on that now. I'm going to go make that appointment. I'm going to talk to my husband about that. I'm going to set up an appointment at the bank. Pay attention to these little signs. What are you resisting? What are you avoiding due to confrontation? So for those of you that are ambitious, like myself, and you are not ready to settle, you're like, nope, I don't like being content in a comfortable way, right? You're feeling the ache to grow, to explore, to evolve, but you're not exactly sure where to go, what to do. Start looking at what you're resisting in your life. Where are you avoiding having these conversations? I talk to hundreds of women, and oftentimes, they're telling me their aches, they're telling me their desires, they're telling me their dreams, but the one thing they're forgetting is to have the same conversation with their husband. Maybe your husband has dreams. Maybe he has desires. Maybe he doesn't come from the same mindset as you, and he wants to say, oh, honey, that's not possible. That's totally cool. My husband used to be the exact same way. But as you start to live the life that you want and say, I totally understand that you might not agree with me right now or be able to see what I see, and that's completely okay, but trust me. Trust me and trust the process. We are co-creating our life with the ones that we love, with our spouses, with our children. We're co-creating this experience with everybody that we meet. My clients co-create their experience with me. I'm not doing the work for them. We're co-creating together. So the conversations that you resist having are the ones you should be having first. So your challenge today, of course, is to ask yourself, what conversation am I avoiding like the plague and I do not want to have? Have that conversation. And if you're terrified to have the physical conversation with somebody, write it down. Get out your journal, a pen, a piece of paper, toilet paper, I don't fucking care. Write it down. And if you're really desperate, write it in your phone. Write it down. What do you want to say to this person, but you feel like you can't? And then ask yourself, how much energy is this avoidant behavior have on my life? Who would I be if I had this conversation and I felt lighter? Oftentimes we don't really realize that the emotional impact of something that we can't see and how that weighs us down. So consider, who would you be if you didn't think about this conversation? I dare you to be brave, to take courageous action, and to jump.
According to a study published on Fast Company, conducted at the University of Kansas, women are burning out at an alarming rate, even before having children. And that number rises with the additional responsibility of raising a family. And the gap between ambition and putting themselves in a position for promotion isn't going anywhere. Why, you ask? The world needs more empowered mothers. Women who are willing to unlearn everything that they've been taught. Women who are courageous enough to feel good and not feel guilty for it. I am living proof that you can feel alive, energized, peaceful, and put yourself on your own damn to-do list and make an even bigger impact in your children's lives and those around you. I want to show you how to think, how to act, how to behave, so you can step into that version of you that has been screaming for your attention. And the best part is, all you have to do is take the next step and invest 2 minutes of your time and book a complimentary call with someone on my team to see if my community and coaching is the right fit for your big vision. The relationships you desire, the money, time, and energy that you know deep down you are capable of creating. So head on over to heatherchauvin.com/let's talk. That's Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/let's talk. LETSTALK. And take the next step in the right direction. You are here because you were born to make a difference. Taking a stand for how you feel means you are taking a stand for how your children show up as adults. You've got this. Let's go.